Morning, Natalie. Morning, Andy. Okay?
Good morning, Steve.
Good. Thank you for calling us. What do you have to say?
Basically, obviously, where do we change this? Because obviously, is it going to take Liverpool throwing the toys out the pram or Klopp? We know what's going to happen. Howard Webb's going to phone Klopp this morning. He's going to apologise, and like he has done, because Liverpool are not the only team to have this every single week, VAR. And listen to one of your other callers earlier when he said that VAR is not the problem. He's absolutely bang on. VAR is not the problem. It is actually the people that are running it. How can 4 people get that decision wrong?
Yeah.
But that's every single week to get it wrong. But what needs to change is that you go back to is it negligence? Yes, it is negligence. Because if me or you and our jobs are negligence, there's consequences. But for these guys, it's 1 week off not officiating the game.
Yeah.
It's got to come from the top. It's got to be. Howard Webb's going to say, "Well, there's not enough referees in the industry to sack referees and then bring someone else into the standard." Well, that's not our problem. That's their problem, because there's enough money in the game to be able to maybe go into schools and get young kids who might not be able to be good enough to be a footballer, but tell you what, there's a different path for you.
Yep.
Let's get you into refereeing. Let's get you into coaching. This, that, and the other. There's so many other avenues, and as football fans, we're sick and tired of every single week of having this conversation.
It's very true, Steve. You make a good point, and I can only concur with your thoughts. One thing that I was going to say, Steve, at the weekend was, when a goal goes in, why doesn't the referee, the on-field referee, why doesn't he just go over to the monitor anyway? Right, because he knows it's being checked.
Right.
He knows the goal is being checked. So he's got to make a 40-yard run. Look, it's not the end of the world. Right, get over to the monitor and see what's being checked. And because he's the one ultimately. Simon Hooper this morning is the one that's feeling it more than anybody, because he's the one out in the middle that's ended up being responsible in some ways for this.
Yeah.
Because he's the referee on the day, and he's the one whose name gets attached to this horrible decision. Get over to that monitor.
Do you know, in some ways that makes sense as well, because, I mean, other than, I suppose, incidents being checked as the game is being played, that's a bit difficult, obviously.
That's different, and you can't do it for everything.
Of course.
You can't.
But if there are moments that are being analysed, there's no harm in him analysing at the same time. Therefore, they have the discussion as to what's happened, and then they come to a decision together, rather than being swayed already with you might want to go and check this, you've got this wrong.
I think with goals that are being checked, with red cards that are being checked, game-defining moments, get yourself over to the side of the field and watch it for yourself. You are the one that's in control, ultimately. You know, when VAR first came in, I always said that the ref should always retain the upper hand, that the guy out there on the day is always the one that's got to be. That's what we thought was going to happen. Get over to the monitor and say, no, I'm seeing something different here. I'm seeing Diaz onside. He's being played onside by Van der Ven. That's a goal that should stand. He might well have changed that around in a split second.
Yeah, absolutely.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.